last speaker has a privilege and a disadvantage at the same time. The advantage is that you know what the other speakers have said, so don't repeat. And the advantage is that you can be concise. So being a good speaker, as I know, just be as concise as possible, given that you have arranged this session to end at 18:45. Thank you very much, and we are all looking forward to a discussion after all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Chairwoman. As she said, the good news is I'm the last speaker. The bad news is that I know that all of you had a long day now and you would like to rest. So I'm not going to take it for long, and I'm just going to be very short in my speech. During those 3 years, I've managed to actually learn a lot of things out of a conference, which means be precise, as said, be concise, and be effective in trying to put the message through. So I will start by saying that, dear friends and colleagues, dear honored guests, dear friends from a variety of EU countries and the United States, honorable consuls, members of parliament, ladies and gentlemen. In an era of a true difficult global and fiscal, but also social crisis, I would like to present to you my ideas in this very short period of time on the future of security, stability, and most importantly, prosperity for the region, for Southeastern Europe. My topic is for Southeastern Europe and the Euro-Atlantic integration of new coming states. This speech is what I call as the plan. This plan cannot be explained in details because all the details have been now said, but that can be summarized into the following several objectives. I will start with Plan 1. Plan 1 is that the integration of Southeastern European states and the integration of Euro-Atlantic states are to be considered a plan for enlargement of the international organizations. This is a roadmap for integration of Southeastern European states in the Euro-Atlantic family. This is also a call for the states that are already members of the Euro-Atlantic family for deeper coordination and deeper credibility. A true and smart diplomacy, an ability to deliver concrete results with a minimum cost, both human and capital. Per the states for Southeastern Europe, there is now confirmation that states such as Bosnia and Herzegovina and Montenegro ensure and seek their entrance to both the EU and NATO organizations. As such, we are yet to see at the next upcoming summit meeting in Chicago for NATO in May 2012, countries to be given an invitation for an extensive and permanent negotiation period. This integration for some will become a full membership ability of countries to join NATO with the next upcoming summit after Chicago, and if they regulate on those negotiations. Possibly, there are also other states that seek full membership, but they're not going to get it. But they might be able to get the acquis communautaire decisions as in to start the negotiations or the final negotiations to join the EU community. As such, the period that we live in right now is not only a period of fiscal and social crisis, but is also a period where we write history. We write political history. It's a realistic history. Amidst this fiscal crisis, then, some issues seem to clarify through the prism of geopolitics, something that has been going on since the 19th onwards. All this falls, again, within the perspective of the enlargement procedure. The enlargement procedure itself is a long-term and traditional open-door policy that is yet to be completed. As such, both NATO and the EU, from their point of view, are now called upon to accept new member states in their families. The second issue is that the integration of Southeastern European states are called upon as a plan for security stability in the region. Allow me to move on to this issue of security in Southeastern Europe, in the Euro-Atlantic Rim. The Libyan crisis, a result of the Arabian uprising, seems to have caused a severe discussion over the current and frozen issues and conflicts in the region of Southeastern Europe. States now seek to solve their security issues, both internally and within their cross-border problems. At the same time, while the stakes are high for the future political stability within the state itself, but also regionally, while the fiscal crisis produces and emerges. Case studies, again, as Bosnia and Herzegovina, Serbia, and its regional state, a de facto independent state such as Kosovo. Along this side is also the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, with its internal instability, massive unemployment, and, forgive me if I'm wrong, a theatrical government. All states will eventually deliver the expected results. They are to proceed with solutions that will allow them to evolve, but at the same time reach the levels of integration as it is expected from them. Thirdly, the integration of Southeastern European states is a matter of institutionalization and key solving solutions. As such, what we surely know is the fact that Southeastern European states do progress democratically, institutionally, socially, and fiscally. Amid the fiscal crisis, but also amidst the historical differences caused from the effect of extreme nationalism during the 80s, the 90s, and not long ago to the recent past from a neighboring country, Fyrom. For major and regional players such as Greece and Turkey, there is only one way, and that is the way of cooperation and prospective viable and long-term alliances that will help support, help boost credibility, and most above else, market trust. Market trust equals to security affirmation, since it will create and export goods and bring in capital investment. At the same time, all countries need the following. A, to solve issues and disputes, whether bilateral and multilateral. They also need to take initiatives. They all need to play the game of zero-sum resolution of issues. Along these lines, this presentation requests for the following thing: a credible ability for leaders to lead, for leaders to take all measures for proper and real-time decision-making. There are many issues that need to be resolved, and this is not only a 4-term period of election timing. For the international organizations, this is now time for both the EU, NATO, but also the OSCE and the rest of the peripheral international organizations to complete the integration procedure of the states that do seek memberships and that do share the same norms and values with the current members of the EU and NATO. This is the time for the integration to Western institutions, and this will become eventually a reality. This is the will. This is a dream of what and how a unified Europe should be. For the already members of both the EU and NATO, such as Greece, there can be only a one-way street to help and support the integration of those states. Greece is to play a major role only when it is realized that development is the only way for growth. Development and ability to lead can only come once and if countries take bold and humble steps forward, when they seek cooperation in a true and working market level economy. Obviously, there are some obstacles, such as the one of our neighboring government in the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. Yet, we, as NATO and EU members, as a nation, we need to take initiatives to solve this issue before it solves itself. Therefore, I go to the step number 4. This is a plan for initiatives and for credible consultation for practical application and solution. And I'm stressing it again. We need initiatives. Today, the world is all about energy security, smart diplomacy, smart defense with a tone of social networking, strategic diplomacy, capability, and credibility to deliver robust results. So, what do we need to have and be credible as a country to the world? We need to make concrete proposals that are feasible. An example, the case of Fyrom again. Greece can only take a unilateral step as it provides an initiative, a solution that is multilaterally accepted to solve this issue between Greece and Fyrom, if it wants and allows Fyrom to join NATO. We also need to resolve outstanding issues. The Cyprus issue needs to be solved. Greek and Turkish relations need to re-emerge. Greece and the EEZ, or the exploration and exploitation of natural resources, should be sought. Amongst others, we do also need to pay our debt while constantly and massively update, grow, and become a free market economy as we should do. We need to boost our economy from crisis to the word development. This said, the tools to do it is via specific tools. Technology, to reintroduce, explain, and create new ways of capital investment, which is also social investment within and outside the country. How do we do that? We need a government, a solid, elected, credible, and nationally accepted and multinationally accepted government that is capable of delivering results. That means new figures that do take the lead and do take decisions, that know how to make cooperation and have a true market economy and experience an oriented market that is truly capable. At the same time, we need those credible politicians, such as the ones that we have here today, to bring forward those ideas into being. We need their experience because we also need new people to lead. We need, therefore, to be outgoing. We need to go deeper. We need to go greater. We need to go where our allies and our friends are going. We need to go where we are appreciated. We need to be close enough with our neighbors. We need to solve all our issues. We also need something that is of ethical and moral value. We need to be proud of who we are. We need to declare that we are open for business, and we need to apply the idea of what Greece would have been if. In an era of Southeastern European and Atlantic integration, we will project the future along the lines of smart diplomacy and via the use of social networks. I, for once, am trying to do it via the Institute. As Europeans and Euro-Atlanticists, we need to stress that we will be alongside the international community, whether this is the EU or the Atlantic, on the other side of the Atlantic, and alongside the international community, we will commit to viable long-term dreams that will become a reality for also the national good of this country. We need to have a strategic thinking ahead. We need a plan, a project, and most of all, we need a will. We need a social protection and a social movement. We need to be truly global while keeping our faith to our national identity and ability to make international cooperations and bring forward deliverables. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to thank you for taking the time in listening to me. Thank you.